and welcome back to another episode of Mystery Red Reads. I am your host, Mystery Red, and this is my disclaimer. This beta read in Concord is at the author's request. This video is for learning purposes. We are looking at a piece of original fiction. We are looking at Chapter 9 of The Lake of Haunted Memories by Ladybugs88, and we are going to dive right in here really quick. There is a playlist for all of my reads for Ladybugs88, and you can totally just check them out and view them. Let's see, and with that, we are going to get right in here. So, Chapter 9, Ruth. With the lake looming dangerously close and Anna's hands waving in a panic, Ruth reacted on impulse. She breached the distance, gripping the steering wheel, and pulled it clockwise. The pickup swerved away from the water in a half-spin through the grass and repositioned itself to advance toward the trees. And what strange trees they were. Ruth shivered in disgust and disbelief as the bat-wing leaves that had confined the pickup on the access road now stood guard like an army standing on the thick trunks. Together, the trees formed an impregnable structure that reflected light with a metallic sheen. As if drawn by a magnet, the pickup continued its advance toward the woods. From the back seat, Carl shouted instructions. Why was Anna not braking? Ruth couldn't reach the pedals to stop the vehicle or do anything other than brace for the imminent crash. And crash the pickup did. On impact, Ruth's body jolted forward, the seatbelt searing into her ribs. She slammed back against the seat, the headrest like a punch to the nape of her head. Her ears rang with the disorienting dissonance of hissing air, bending metal, and the sound of glass breaking, even though the windshield remained intact. As she resumed breathing, her entire body hurt, but she reminded herself it could have been worse. She could have drowned instead. "Everyone okay?" Carl asked from the back. "I'm fine." Barb opened her door. "Let's jump out and inspect the damage." "Anna?" Carl asked. "I'm so sorry." Hunched over the steering wheel, Anna sniffled. "Are you hurt?" "No." Anna buried her face in her arms. "I shouldn't have done this." "Done what? It was an accident." "It was as much my fault as yours," Ruth said, since she had turned the steering wheel, which had led them to collide with the trees. Better than drowning, though. Carl pushed her door open with a scraping sound. "Blasted grass!" She jumped out and slammed it behind her. Anna's sniffles evolved into sobs and her shoulders heaved over the steering wheel. Outside the vehicle, Barb walked to the crumpled hood and stood in front of two giant trees. Ruth wanted to step out, but when she opened the door, thick grass covered every inch of the ground, each blade at least 1.5 feet, tall enough to reach past her knees. She couldn't possibly walk in that. What if there were snakes in the grass? I would just omit this and just say, what if there were snakes? Because it's reading really well, by the way. I didn't want to stop. Besides, the trees repulsed her, and she didn't want to approach them. Her heartbeat sped up in an unease and anticipation. She was about to make a fool of herself again, because she had no control over her fears, no control at all. Okay, the chapter reads very, very well. The action is great. Her heartbeat sped up. Okay, when you say in unease and anticipation, this is telling. Just omit it. It's super easy to fix. Just take it out. Because your sensation does the work for you, so you don't have to describe it. Or explain it, I should say. I think it read very well. Another reason to omit in the grass is because you have an echo on it. We're going to use a pretty little blue here. I'm going to go down and just point it out to you. By omitting that, you resolve the echo, so that's another benefit to that. It looked really good. It read well. I was excited. I wanted to know what was happening next. I was also worried that someone was going to get hurt. I'm now wondering why Anna didn't brake. I mean, could she not? What is going on with her? And she's not got it out of the truck. She's kind of like, seems like she's in shock. She's like, "What did I do?" And I'm like, "Why didn't you hit the brake?" But then I'm kind of waiting to find out if she has an explanation or like there's going to be some revelation of why she didn't hit the brake. Is there a supernatural play, intervention going on here? Oh my gosh. So I breezed through 7, 8, and 9 today, and I want to go on to 10, and I can't until Ladybug gives it to me. So I'm going to wrap this up in this whopping 5-minute video here because this chapter read really well. I had a few little suggestions. One thing I did notice again, we have I don't know if I would do this right here. You do, I think, have 2 sentences in this chapter that started with and. I bet if you just take and out, you could start the sentence with the very next word. So the pickup swerved from the water in a half spin through the grass and repositioned itself to advance toward the trees. What strange trees they were. See, so it still reads with the same effect if you just drop the and. So that'd be a real quick, easy fix to that. And it's not bad to start a sentence with and once in a while. You just don't want to do it on as like a frequent thing. And whenever you whenever you are trying to decide whether or not to keep and as the beginning of your sentence or not, look at the sentence before it and look at the sentence after it. Try reading the sentence without it, and if it works, you let it go. And if you still need it and the sentence really there is no restructuring that needs to happen between the sentence prior and the sentence you're looking at, or the sentence you're looking at and the sentence after it, if there's nothing to be reworked there, again, then you might actually need to keep it. So those are the questions I ask myself before I keep an and. But with that, I'm gonna go and get these videos to Ladybugs so that we can get on to chapter 10, hopefully. So guys, I'll see you next time on Mystery Red Reads.